If Donald Trump is elected, Mrs. Trump will be the first Lady that has ever posed nude, the first Lady that's the third wife, and the first foreign-born First Lady in this century.
I don't know what your views are on Donald Trump, but is talking about his wife and whether she's up to the job of being the First Lady because he's Donald Trump's third wife or whatever she did in the past, really germane in this case? I didn't think so with the guest I had, big Cruz supporter. I think that could be a very slippery slope, but that's me. I want to get the read from former Republican Florida Congressman Allen West, who's not endorsed anyone. I just thought that was out of bounds. I understand where she's coming from. She's a big Cruz supporter, likes Heidi Cruz, of course, the senator's wife, but I don't know. That's a very, very, very treacherous path to go down. What say you?
Well, it's good to be with you, Neil. And before I came over to the studio, I watched the most recent ISIS video and the beheading of several Syrian army soldiers. We know that Iran has fired off an intercontinental ballistic missile in complete violation of the Iranian nuclear agreement. China is building islands and placing airfields and surface-to-air missiles. Iran is looking to buy brand new Russian T-90 tanks and state-of-the-art fighter aircraft. Russia is poised to go into Ukraine and into the Baltics. We know that we have an anemic GDP growth, some of the worst since the Great Depression. I really don't care about the state of apparel or the lack of apparel that Donald Trump's wife has had in the past. I think when you look at the fact we got 93 to 94 million Americans that are out of work, been dropped out of the workforce, we have some critical issues, and I would hope we have critical candidates that will talk about these issues that are serious.
Nevertheless, candidate spouses are always dragged into things, and we always sort of picked in the back of our minds, could I see that one as a First Lady? Could I see this one as a First Lady? As if it matters in the end. They do have powerful roles to play. We're learning that as we look back on Nancy Reagan. But is there a bit too much obsession with this? Do people go to the polls thinking, oh, maybe if I get John Kennedy, I get Jackie Kennedy. If I get Ronald Reagan, I get Nancy Reagan. If I get Donald Trump, I get Melania Trump. What do you think?
Well, without a doubt, since the Kennedy-Nixon debate, the political atmosphere in the United States of America has become very image-driven. And when you look at this sense of entertainment and this sense of celebrity status, it seems that that is what some people wish to focus on. But it's kind of like sitting around worrying about, your house when the rest of your neighborhood is on fire, and your house will eventually be consumed by that fire. And I would hope that we start to get away from this celebrity status. We start to get away from this, Entertainment Tonight or the National Enquirer tabloid type of campaigning in the United States of America. Because Vladimir Putin is not thinking about Melania Trump. Hassan Rouhani is not thinking about Melania Trump. Neither is Xi Jinping.
Bottom line, we know that candidates and their families become fair game, but I just think this kind of thing is unfair, period.
Yeah. No, this is definitely in the gutter, and it's not something that should be brought up. And unfortunately, it could be something that could, reflect very negatively against the Cruz campaign, because you just don't want to have people that are on television, which some would interpret speaking on the behalf of that campaign and that candidate, talking about these things. Once again, why aren't we talking about our economy and our national security and getting Americans back to work?
Congressman, well put. Very, very well put. And again, just a reminder, I don't think that any of this stuff is germane to the race at hand. Whatever you think of the candidates, I don't think we have to drag the candidate's family into it, good or bad. I think Melania Trump deserves better than that. I think all the candidates' spouses and respective family members deserve better than that. Having said that, I do think this is a huge story here, the huge crowds on this polling day.